More importantly, Essendon winners today, the Kangaroos winners last night. West Coast need the win to stay on top. 10-8, 7-3, start of the third term. Michael favoured by the bounce, slaps it down. Down goes Braun, or is it Cousins under there? Cousins over the top, Holland. And the whistle. And now, a bit of fire, as you'd expect. Holland has done very well.
The Eagles have started the centre square, Woosha, with Cousins, Braun and Morris in there with Ball taking the ruck.
Jones cut off at the pass. Michael soccers off the ground. Banfield fed it back to Morrison, who kicks it down towards half forward. Peter Matera wrestling down there. Phillip seizing the ball on the moment, then coughs it up, taken by Parker. Cunning little kick, grabbed by Holland. They don't want to be too careful or rather too clever here. They need to be careful. The hand pass comes from Morrison. And breaking away is Harding around the outer side. He's had a bounce. He kicks it up towards half forward. Drifting back is Callaghan. Callaghan slides like a base runner going to second. Controlled it, kicks it down towards full forward Modra. A battle of the bodies, and Tony Modra prevailed against that man, Ashley McIntosh.
Yeah, magnificent recovery there from Callaghan. Went to ground but kept possession of the ball. Got to his feet very quickly. Got the ball forward to the marking contest of Modra versus McIntosh. Modra's obviously very strong in the body because he's outpointed McIntosh on a couple of occasions. And that was a terrific contested mark. Could be a good start for the third quarter for the Dockers.
Tony Modra, 30 metres out. That's the start they wanted.
Well, that's certainly the start Fremantle wanted and needed. Pick back that goal that the Eagles got just on half-time. Gives them a nice handy buffer. Because what they didn't want is for the Eagles to come out, just get their confidence up, close that gap a bit more at the start of this second half. And really that would have sparked the Eagles into action. Now they just go in a little bit cautious again. They're not sure how to go. They're still the ones who've got to try and make the play. Fremantle started with this lineup very similar to the first half. Let's see how they go.
So out to 29 points. 11-8, 7-3. Jason Bull with very much his game face on there, but he's beaten again by Michael, who thumps it down towards half forward. Kemp's in the road though. Took too long. Run down by Callaghan from behind. Play on's the call. Norris sends it wide. Advantage was paid. Harding as a result from 50 metres out. Kicks it behind.
No protection for Dean Kemp. That's something that the Eagles have lacked today. Players with possession of the footy haven't had the protection from their teammates, and Kemp found some space, but a brilliant chase by Callaghan. No one jumping in behind Kemp to protect him. Callaghan, great tackle, big turnover for Fremantle.
Jones offers. McIntosh hangs on, now goes directly up the ground. Morrison the big leap, almost the big mark off his fingertips. Banfield tried to play it in front. Morrison, it's bouncing around like a pinball machine in there. Morrison did brilliantly, got it to Ball, releases Reed, looping hand pass to White. Again he takes a while, dragged down, manages to get the kick away though. Should have been punched once more by the defence. Here's a chance for Philip Matera, tries to give it across to Peter. Peter was flat-footed, threads it back to Metropolis, and Metropolis hooks a goal.
Yeah, magnificent rebounding run there by the Eagles. Magnificent tap on there by Chad Morrison. He was the player that got the ball forward for the Eagles and kept the footy alive.
You just see here, Mick, Dennis called it. Should have been a punch. James Clement, a lot taller than Philip Matera, and they're a direct opponent. So he obviously backs himself in to take these marks, but didn't see Carroll coming in. Phil Matera stayed down, did well to get it out to Peter Matera, and then a very clever handle under pressure there. Good finish.
Yes, a really aggressive punch right there. Puts the ball back on the 50 and turns everything around. Still, it didn't happen. The Eagles got the goal. Norris liked his game to Harding, relishing the run from half back. He kicks inside the 50. Loose ball at the back. Rapunda arrives quickly, plays it across the players coming back, but it stayed in. Modra, who was leading those players running towards goal, gets a hand pass across to support Michael, then Waterhouse. Waterhouse snaps, and he's off target. Wirra some quick hands in there as well.
And Dennis, since the first quarter where the Eagles kicked the first 3 goals of the game, since that period, they haven't been able to kick 2 goals in succession. They certainly need the next goal to gain some momentum.
Rapunda casually places the ball to the 50. Good kick. Cousins has it, so quiet today. And it is spark from him. Champion youngster. He kicks up towards the wing. Reaching over the top is Bandy. Got a fist on it. Attacking the ball hard was Braun. Worked out of it there by Bond. Socket off the ground by Ball. Kicking endangers the call. Was anyone bending down? Must have been. Bond pleading his case. Wants the ball and he wants it quickly. Chris Bond, the skipper, on the wing. The side up by 25 points. 16.5 minutes till three-quarter time. History in the making. Can the Dockers push on? Bond, a little chip. Waterhouse uncontested. Clever kick into space. There wasn't much of it. Waterhouse ran hard. Terrible kick. Bounces down towards the pocket. Bandy outnumbered. Fights it pretty well as far as the Dockers are concerned, though. Callaghan, Norrish. Quick hands to Black. Feeds it back to Waterhouse. Throw is called against Black. He may have said something.
Well, that's an interesting one. It looked like a clear handball to me.
Well, that's a remarkable call.
It may have been against the player and actually got the ball out to Black Dennis, but certainly the Black handball was no doubt there. But an interesting decision.
Yes. Very interesting. Waterhouse escorting the ball back. Over the trip. Stands the mark. So Guy McKenna's got it. Forward of half-back Guy McKenna. Down towards half-forward. Well, Modra back in defence. It cleared him. It was centimetre perfect. It fell to Philip Matera, just lurking behind. Now Matera wants to go and does. High kick. Metropolis in from the side. Ball. Did the hard work. Didn't hang on. Fletcher. O'Reilly under the pump. Keeps it in. All or nothing. They're taking a risk here, the Dockers, and they come away. Well done. Bandy to Norrish.
Yeah, Ball certainly did all the hard work. He ran extremely hard to compete in the air 10 metres from goal. Unfortunate from his point of view, he just didn't mark the ball cleanly.
Jason Norrish up towards the wing. Wills got his man under the ball. Couldn't gather the bouncing ball, though. Jakovic got it to Banfield, across to Peter Matera. Matera spears the pass into White.
Change of direction. Kemp's on too, Dennis.
White 60 metres from goal. Goes to the pocket and Cummings. Low down, and that's a very good mark by the big man.
And that's the type of kick forwards love to lead to. You being a defender, Woosha, for most of your career, they're very hard to stop when the ball goes low and flat from A to B.
Yeah, pretty much impossible to get a fist, and unless you're right on your man, you can dive and get your arm around. A very good kick by Mitchell White. A lot better set up by the Eagles because they did have the options. You called it, Mick, in the centre of the ground. They had Morrison and Kemp calling for the ball for the switch, which that draws Dockers players away from that hole and leaves a bit more space for Cummings to lead into.
Big kick this one. Margin 25 points. This to pull it back under 20. Cummings going at his fourth. A kick from about 15 metres in from the line. Get back in to kick it. Well, that fixed him. He's put it out of bounds on the full, has he? Or yes, he has, I think. Out of bounds on the full. Thought for a moment the goal umpire was going to signal a behind. Michael Malthouse has been around the game for a long, long time now. 545 games as a player and coach non-stop since 1972. As the ball goes towards the outer side, juggled out there by Ball. Norrish gets it away to kick it. Kick it hurriedly up towards the wing. Waterhouse missed it. Waiting behind Banfield. Banfield overruns it with Wills. Swooping on the loose ball, Morrison. Coming in strongly as Holmes. Read it nicely. Kicks inside the 50. All Dockers back there. Missed by Fletcher. Should have done better. Michael talked him into it. Was Mitchell White pushed in the back? I don't think so. It was a very good tackle under the circumstances by Heath Black coming from behind, because momentum normally carries the man forward.
Interesting to see what Malthouse does with the bigger blokes, Fuster and Bellotti. They haven't got a lot of reward for their efforts today. Ball's running with his opponent and Bandy. Maybe it's time to interchange those players from the ground.
Braun gets a free kick. 60 metres from goal to Cousins. Released him on his left foot though, so he has to straighten up and kicks to the pocket. Knocked away by Parker. Picked up by Philip Matera. The snap is good. The snap is very good.
Well, that's a great snap. Wasn't a good kick. Really the best option by Cousins, kicking it to Philip Matera with Shane Parker manning him again. He was beaten by height, but just made sure he just brought the ball to ground. We see he fights hard for front spot, and then the acceleration here to get enough space to get around and give himself a good look at the goals. Had to finish it off with a good snap, which he got, and that's going to spark the Eagles, and this game is going to become real alive.
So the margin is 19 points, and the West Coast Eagles looking to maintain top spot on the ladder and looking to own this town. Here's Banfield out of the centre square, boots it down towards half-forward, kick it. Oh, terrible bounce, reaching over the top though. Matera made something out of nothing, and the pair of them fall to the ground. It's locked in close and a bounce.
A good option by Matera to try and grab the ball, because he was caught behind and just knew he could grab it and lock it up there and give the Eagles another chance from here.
Clever by Kicker to go back on him and restrict him slightly. Ball, interesting. White, better. Across to Cousins. Inside the 50. Spilt down there by Metropolis and across the line.
And there's that principle, sorry Dennis, of getting the ball forward by foot. Ball was certainly under pressure, but he thought forward. More often than not, your players further afield or in front. White was on that occasion. He released to Cousins, who found the target of Metropolis. Unfortunately for him, he dropped the mark.
Ball moved at about 5 metres in the opposite direction. Black pops it out of bounds on the bounce as it came off a body and will be thrown in out there.
Updating the benches, Dan. West Coast, it's Mainwaring, Fuster, Rintoul and Bellotti. And over at Fremantle, Wills has just come off the ground. Taylor, Gale and Prescott.
Jones couldn't control the ball at the back of the pack. Kick it, does, and kicks towards the outer side wing. And Norris coming up to meet him was Holmes. And the ball jarred across the boundary line. Holmes taking no prisoners there.
A good pat on the back from Rowan Jones for Holmes. Just went hard at the footy. And it was a great play to make the contest, keep the ball loose.
He was one number less. Very similar to a Worsfold attack on the ball, that one, Johnny.
Suddenly, it's Sonny at Subi. And the ball up on the outer side wing. 76 plays 57. 11.5 minutes from three-quarter time. The Dock is on top. Bandy and Ball. Ball is doing better in this term. Knocked it down, but Black sharked it, kicked it towards the outer side. It runs away from Callahan and goes out once more.
Yeah, Ball certainly has lifted. Interesting to see how long he can be a vital player in this third quarter, knowing that they'll try to double team him with Bandy and Michael.
In front Ball. They fight a draw. Cousins getting through. Hand passes forward. Reed's got the run of it. He fell over. But weight of numbers. They were a wave coming down the ground. Braun finds Peter Matera within range. Irresistible then the West Coast Eagles. 3 of them on the burst.
And just crucial with Ben Cousins starting to get his hands on the ball and use it a bit better in a real tight situation. Then he worked hard under the pack, got his hands on it. 3 blokes went at him to tackle him, but that sent away 3 Eagles players, and he got it out to his teammates. He only had 3 kicks in the first half, Benny Cousins. He's had 3 this quarter, and he's starting to look more damaging and set more play up for the Eagles, which is great for them.
So the pressure right on the Dockers now. The Eagles are making their move. And the Dockers need to hold. They need to be firm. They need to have some self-belief. Peter Matera can hurt them right here from right on the 50. It's a goal. The game is afoot.
Well, that's what pressure footy's all about. Experienced campaigners know the circumstance. They realise they have to convert at every opportunity. This is the setup that John Worsfold was actually talking about. There's Cousins, held his body, held his composure in the tackle. Good attack on the footy by Reed. He got a free kick, but the advantage was given to Braun. Realised Matera led exceptionally hard to space. He found him. Matera gold.
Michael Braun, 7 possessions today. His season's high 32 against Melbourne back in round 14. And these two teams have suddenly come closer together. Kick it towards half forward. Getting a hand to it was Holland. It runs free at the back. Wirra couldn't control it. Morrison breaks away. In fact, it's coming back. And it's going to be a free kick to Callaghan.
Yeah, I didn't actually see what that was for, Dennis.
Callaghan goes short. Norwich has it. He can run inside the 50. Now in trouble. Has to kick it across the body up wide to Harding. Wasn't the best choice. Harding pulls it back towards the middle. It bounces towards the opposite pocket. McManus got a goal from this area earlier. This time comes back and finds Waterhouse. And I'd venture to say that Clive could kick this one.
You certainly have to aim for the right-hand goal post. It's been right to left at this end of the ground for most of the day. Probably a good option in the end. Waterhouse would probably get the distance, whereas Callaghan may have struggled.
Here's a man who loves strutting the green stage. Clive Waterhouse, is it coming around? I think it's okay by the narrowest of margins.
Well, big goal to Fremantle with the Eagles, as we said, making their move, trying to close that gap. Gives Fremantle still a comfortable bit of breathing space. The game is going to be pretty tough from here on in. But that really does put a dent in the Eagles' momentum. They've got to come back now, but well played by Fremantle. They didn't lose their nerve. They kept the pressure on the Eagles. They knew that a goal would come their way. Keep working hard, and it came their way. They're back in front again.
Well, back in round one, outstanding game. And this one, I think, standard-wise is better. Michael knocks it down. Will it have this sting in the tail the last Derby had? Dragged down was Fletcher, crashing in his broad. Reid bounces to his feet, but he's going to receive a free kick. He applied the tackle on Fletcher. Reid off a step from half-back, fires play up towards the wing. Ball is outnumbered. Michael reaches over the top and thumps it across the boundary line.
Yeah, and it's great to see Reid being pushed up into the midfield now. He just gives a little bit of strength in that centre part of the ground. Very critical player to the makeup of the West Coast Eagles.
Tossed in. Pandy hit it behind. Element of danger there. Kick it. Somehow got out of dodge. Gives it across to McManus. Across it comes to Callaghan. Callaghan to half forward. Clive looking to turn McKenna inside out. Goes with the left foot. Gave it away. Terrible kick. Jakovic. Down goes Holland. How will the umpire call this? Maybe 50 against Holland. Adding insult to injury right there. Holland has pulled back 50. And rightly so, had no reason there to come in after the mark had been taken to grab.
Regardless of throwing Jakovic to the ground, he can't run in and actually grab Jakovic after he's taken the mark. It's an immediate 50 metres.
Umpire Hanley steps it out. Jakovic plays on. Banfield cruising through the middle. Hand passes to Holmes, who's a long kick. This is no exception. Going back, the mark is missed by Bandy, taken by Carroll. Wrestle to the ground, it's jarred out of there. Overrun by Clement. Here's a chance for Jones. He goes to ground in a strong tackle. Applying it was Fletcher. And we'll have a bounce about 20 metres out from the Eagles' attacking goal.
Good numbers by Fremantle. Good numbers. They work back hard to block that forward line up.
This big crowd is certainly finding voice now. Bandy lays it down. Philip Matera got it to White. Feigns a hand pass. Now goes to Cousins. McManus got him. Getting through there is Kickett. You can't go backwards. He's dragged down by Cousins. It's Bills to Black. Black up towards the wing. Holland had to stretch. Couldn't complete the mark. White pushed off it by Parker. Taken by Holland. Kept his head nicely. Goes to McManus. He's confronted there by Kemp. Spots Harding to the outer side. Harding's got it. Modra comes on the lead. The kick goes towards the pocket. Modra and McIntosh. Modra does brilliantly. Deep in the pocket. Impossible angle. What a goal! What a goal!
Unbelievable, freaky stuff. Over a number of years, we've certainly saw the talent of Tony Modra on a number of occasions, but this goal defies logic. Sensational ability to keep his balance in that contest there, tapped it to his advantage. 2 steps he took, assessed his options, kicked accurately for goal. He's happy. Every reason to be.
Well, remarkable players do remarkable things. Tony Modra is a remarkable player. Michael goes up and knocks it down. Fletcher Brilliantly done, Fletcher. Like a hot knife through butter. He kicks inside the 50. Standing his ground, though, McKenna lays it off. McIntosh to the outer side. Cousins. Three of the big names combining there. Cousins spots Braun, who takes the mark. He has this ball forward of half-back. Michael Braun across the ground. Taylor made there for McManus, who launches himself. Terrible kick. That was not the spot to go to. McManus across the ground to the left-footed Callaghan. Callaghan around the corner finds Black. Bandy comes to him. Black settles down and comes to Parker. Parker across half forward. They've met the challenge now, the Dockers. Can they push on and increase their lead at three-quarter time? Parker, high ball down towards full forward. Bandy was he held on to. Across on the angle. McIntosh defiantly thumps it towards the boundary. It's out of bounds.
And this is just an unbelievable goal, isn't it, John? Sensational work.
Just on turning, McIntosh found the space and just a great kick.
The back of the pack, Fletcher. Holland liked his game. Interesting hand pass. McManus. Waterhouse. Still Waterhouse. Waterhouse snaps across the face. Going back is kick it with courage. Bounces off his arms and across the line and out of bounds. The margin back to 25 points. It's greater than it was at half-time when it was 23. 6.5 minutes till three-quarter time. Jakovic thumps it down. McIntosh had it deflect off his body. Jakovic again working against the odds. Threw it on the boot. Taken by Harding, who's been a valuable player. Pulls it back towards full forward. Modra. Modra has marked 10 metres out. I said it was an Eagles house. Well, there's plenty of support for the Dockers. Maybe a few have turned.
Yeah, Modra's been a fairly good player today. He hasn't had a lot of the footy. This will be only his 6th kick, but this could possibly be his 4th goal. McIntosh has been his opponent all day. It's been a terrific contest watching those two players go about their stuff.
A career milestone for Modra as he kicks from 15 metres out. 500 goals.
Well, Tony Modra's that player. That previous goal he kicked was just really wake up the Fremantle players and spark them into that real enthusiastic mode again. Goal number 500. He has been an outstanding player. The AFL competition, a couple of quiet seasons with his knee reconstruction, but he can really spark a side, and his 4 goals have all been very good, hard-earned goals today.
What a testing time for the West Coast Eagles. In danger now of falling from their top rung on the ladder. And this wasn't supposed to happen. It's being, I think, a little like getting knocked out by your sparring partner. As Holland boots it down towards half forward. Reid running back with it, gathers the bouncing ball. He's across half back. Philip Reid throws it on the boot. It's a high kick. The Dockers, if they get the next one, you feel they're almost home already. Banfield confronted. Kickett sensing that goes after it. Look at him work. Dale Kickett ties it up, and we've got a ball up.
Probably right from the first bounce today, the intention of the Dockers players to really nullify the space of the Eagles has been one particular asset of the game that they've worked exceptionally hard on.
The margin is 31 points. Ball goes up. Shepherding called against Bandy, who's hurt and slow to get up. They need him up. They need him running. Morrison to Cousins, spots a man on the outer side. That's Holmes. Oh, here's a long kick. He can run down to outside the 50. He spots the vacant goal square, goes long in that direction. Metropolis draws a crowd. It falls to the back. Philip Matera. Never seen that before. Well, visit at primary school. Coming through. Parker's kick was blanketed. Goes out towards Braun. Braun was the meat in the sandwich, so to speak. And the ball goes across the boundary line and out of bounds. Look at it throw in.
Well, the desperation of Fremantle is magnificent at the moment. They're just making a contest out of every loose ball, ensuring the Eagles don't get it and get an easy one away.
Knocked down by Bandy. Over the top, Bond. Ball jarred out of there. McManus tackled strongly by Philip Matera. Two Fremantle boys, and it's out of bounds.
Dennis, sensational atmosphere down here. Dean Kemp is off the ground with a thigh injury. Chad Rintoul's back on. And for Freo, Black off, Taylor on.
Dockers by 31 points. Fletcher, who's been superb, throws it on the boot, trying to get to the boundary line. In the road, though, Morrison slipped as he kicked. It's lucky it comes to Jones. So Jones will kick a goal from right on the 50. What a match.
But I think that favoured the Eagles, is no doubt, because if he had a kick long, Fremantle already had the numbers back.
Rowan Jones, good looking effort. It's curling around, just fell away and brushed the post. More drama. 3.5 minutes, a little over, till three-quarter time. What a finish we're going to have. The champs won't lie down, that's for certain. You don't get to the top of the AFL ladder by lying down. Parker to bring it in. A brief respite. Parker tries to go for distance, miscues, close to the boundary line. Banfield, good result for the Dockers. Knocked across the line by Bond.
And that was magnificent work there by Cummings. He really worked the mark on the goal square. You get allowed 5 metres between yourself and the end of the goal square line, and that was terrific stuff by Cummings.
Mitchell White is taken. Bond has been better today. He's had a run of outs, but he's leading from the back. Out of the back pocket. There's the bounce. Chance for Cousins. Banfield. Morrison, he's lifted in this term. The kick not particularly good, or was it? Yes, it bounces okay for Metropolis. He's pursued outside the 50 by Clement. Worked over. Clement tries to sock it. Coming through was Rintoul. He trapped the ball, but Clement picks it up. Knocked on by Kicken. Harding had to stop. Rintoul got him. Gets the hand pass off though, round the outer side. Clement, nice kick too. Spotted Fletcher. Fletcher pulls it back towards the middle by hand. Harding unloads long inside the 50. Over the top, Holmes knocks it away from Callaghan. And it goes across the boundary line. Margin 30 points.
Yes, Dan, and the lights are on, obviously, and the rain is starting to come down, which isn't going to help the side chasing.
I would imagine all around Perth, everybody is home. Tossed in. Jakovic missed it. Callaghan hurriedly floats it to the kickoff line. McIntosh comes over the top, angles the fist away. That's perfect, and a lesson for some of those Docker defenders. Get the fist on the ball and angle it towards the boundary. So we've got a throw in. Get some numbers back. The Eagles have done that. 94-64. Bandy and Jakovic. Jakovic had it bounce around on his scone, close to the boundary line. Callaghan put the body in, played against the behind post by McKenna.
And Musher, I just wonder whether it's about time maybe Metropolis could go to the defensive part of the ground, try to get Wirrapunta up to half back, because him and Morrison could create some run and maybe bring Fuster off the interchange bench and play as a tall.
Callaghan chopped off by Wirrapunta, barely covered the distance. Wirrapunta back towards half back. Banfield, a real chance here for the Eagles. They've got plenty of time, over 2 minutes. Reed, well, tried to do the right thing after the fumble and the bad hand pass. Kick it though. Did best for his team. Gets it to McManus, 60 metres out. Pulls it back to about 20 out from goal. Almost a great grab taken down there by Holmes. McIntosh falling to the ground. Got the hand pass away. Taken by Jakovic. He kicks to the outer side, juggling the mark. Rintoul is paid.
Important mark there, because he was outnumbered too. Another Dockers player running in to be a crummer. Good mark by Rintoul.
He's gone short. This is Cousins. Cousins kicks towards the wing. He'll direct it. McManus dropped the head, dropped the mark. Gets the hand pass to Bond. Bond back to McManus. McManus almost. Now he slips away. Despairing lunge by Peter Matera. The Eagles have got the numbers. Jakovic close to the boundary line. Glenn Jakovic spears the pass, finds Jones. Just over a minute till three-quarter time. Jones to half forward. Mitchell White on the stretch. Arriving late is Parker. White hard against the fence. Under a minute? No, just over a minute still. Clock is frozen. The kick towards the middle. Kick it. Risking life and limb. Dived at it. Braun taken high. He'll get a free kick. Braun wants to go. Runs towards the boundary. Bond is there to blanket the kick, and it goes out of bounds. Not the best option. Drum comes down from the grandstand. Bond, who's seen most things in his football career, has never been in a situation like this. A hometown derby. He's the skipper. He's from out of town, but his side's in front. Throw in right on the 50. The Rucks battle again. Gladiatorial in there. Knocked down by Ball. Taken away by McManus. Only as far as Morrison. 40 seconds remaining in the term. Morrison kicks it high. Look for Cummings to launch himself. Got hands to it. Rintoul crashes into the pack. Standing there defiantly was Norris to Parker. Holland runs away to the outer side, and Callaghan. They've got time now to kick the late goal, the Dockers. Callaghan is away. Spots a man on the lead. Guess who? Modra. Modra low down with 15 seconds to go. He's about 65 metres from goal. I doubt he could kick it, but then again, this is Tony Modra. He's going for distance. He's going with the spiral. He's caught it sweetly. It'll fall about 5 metres short. Jakovic will turn the tide once more to Banfield. Wait for the siren. What a quarter. What a quarter.
Here it certainly had everything. The intensity certainly lifted. Dockers kicked the first goal of that third quarter through Modra. Then the Eagles kicked the next three.
That was their challenge, wasn't it? They kicked 3 in a row. Mickey called it that they needed to kick a couple in a row. He made the challenge, but just what a great reply again by the Dockers.
Yeah, they certainly have stood up today. Very impressive. Be interested to see what Mick Malthouse does in this three-quarter time break.
He's going to try something. They've stretched their lead. 30 points is going to be a big margin to peg back in this last quarter. They have to try something. Fremantle have been pretty much on top across the whole field. Where will the spark come from for the West Coast Eagles? We'll have to wait and see for that one.
Margin was 23 points at quarter time, 23 points at half time. It's out to 30. And the Dockers on the brink of turning a tough season into a memorable one. 14-10 to 10-4. Not long to wait, Adrian. 30 points then. Fremantle 24 scoring shots to 14, and probably that underlines the story of the game. They have been the better side. But of course the West Coast Eagles, a wealth of experience, and for the second week in succession, a milestone. Could lead to a side going under. Last week it was Guy McKenna, and at the moment Chris Mainwaring, a forlorn looking player, just sitting there looking on. Not much he can do. Start the final quarter. Michael knocks it down, taken by Wills, intercepted by Banfield across to Rintoul. Rintoul, thumping kick towards half forward. Ball does well in front. Jason Ball.
Well, that's a change. Fuster's gone into the ruck. Ball's gone forward. Daniel Metropolis to a back pocket, and Philip Reid into the centre to be pretty hard in there for the Eagles.
Ball, the Eagles' leading goal kicker back in '95, has booted only 4 this season. He'll take a good kick from here, and he's taking plenty of time. Goes for distance. They'll contest about 10 metres out. Plenty of Dockers back there, and Michael stretches, takes the mark, plays on immediately. Just prods it down to McManus. Still deep in his own defensive area. As we saw, the lights on. Gloomy day in Perth.
Gee whiz.
Across the ground goes the kick. Cousins interesting there. Harding took the mark, played on to Clement. Clement comes away then from half back, driving it towards the outer side. Bandy almost in the hands. Jakovic slips away from Bandy. Peter Matera almost run down, dragged down, goes looking for Metropolis. Kick it has been good, gets it to Bandy. Over the top it comes to Holland. Now Bond goes back to Callaghan. Nobody near him. Callaghan about 55 metres out, hits Modra.
Smart play.
Yeah, very clever.
Could have easily blazed away.
Easily bombed it in there. Wills was running hard to the goal square for him, but he just took his time, waited for the best option. Modra made a good lead.
So Modra going at number 5 here. Big second half. His best effort against the Eagles. 6 was a Crow back in '93. Slides it across the face. It does stretch the lead.
Just in that build-up too, John, it was interesting to see, even though the Dockers were under pressure, their mentality was forward handball. All of a sudden, they have teammates, waves of numbers running into that part of the ground. Percentages say it will finish with one of your teammates. Think forward when under pressure.
Metropolis, who started on the forward line, goes short to the pocket. Quick closing speed from Waterhouse, hard against the boundary line. Bounces it back across the goal face. Wapunda in trouble. A hand pass came from Fuster. Wapunda's got it now. They still haven't cleared the zone. Modra paddles it around. Was being held, was he? I think Modra's going to get a free kick. Rain is falling, and the task getting more difficult by the moment for the West Coast Eagles.
Well, it's good set up by Fremantle because Wirrapunda had the chance to kick it. When he looked up, Greg Harding was the only player straight outside the 50, and that's who he was going to kick it to. So he had to back himself to try and get around one more player. Modra was there to put the pressure on. They've caused a big turnover well inside scoring distance for Tony Modra.
So a question of accuracy right here for Tony Modra. From about 35 metres out, if that. He's got the goal. 5 for Tony Modra.
Yeah, he's been a terrific player, Modra, throughout the course of this 1999 season. He just has straightened up the Dockers. It's enormous confidence for the midfield group when you know you've got a spearhead in front of goal.
Clever play by Waterhouse there, wasn't it? Just
Very
to keep
clever.
the ball win. Good pressure on McKenna, kept it in, and then Modra here just keeps himself around the play. Stayed in touch, and Wirrapunda just had hold of his jumper.
Well, it would seem too tough for the West Coast Eagles. They're down by 36 points now. Up goes Michael. He's done so well. Reed, the hand pass, rather casual. Knocked down towards half forward by Norris. Coming up the ground is Waterhouse. Standing his ground, Peter Matera. It spills to Michael. Worth the kick as he hand passes goalward. Callahan runs onto it. He didn't have the ball, did he? Socket off the ground by Modra. Out on the full. It'll be a free to McIntosh down there.
Terrific contest here, Woosha. Wirrapunda, magnificent tackle.
Yeah, the ball spilled in the tackle, and Modra trying to again create something off the ground.
Good umpiring. Wapunda short to Braun. Well, they're making all sorts of mistakes now. Uncharacteristic mistakes. Holland fires a goal across the line. It's a behind.
Yeah, mistakes due to the pressure that Fremantle have put under them. It is all credit to Fremantle. Can easily say that the Eagles' poor disposal and the mistakes they've made have given the game to Fremantle, but they've earned it with their pressure.
McIntosh up the middle. Ball was up. Banfield feigns a hand pass. Now he goes with one wide. Jakovic has got the run. Storming past his Cousins. He's forward of the wing, Cousins. Kicks inside the 50. Slipping over down there a defender. It was wide of that man anyway, and the mark was taken by Kickett, but a free kick is going to Clement, and O'Reilly had fallen over. So a bit happened down there, but the end result was Fremantle have still got the footy. Harding into the path of McManus. It runs on for him. McManus on the wing. Rintoul closing. The kick to half forward. McKenna, the ball is greasy now. They're outnumbered 3-on-2, the Eagles. Hand pass comes from Metropolis across to Fuster. Fuster decides to have a bounce. Well, that's ambitious. Fuster from half back eventually gets a kick off, but he put himself under pressure, and as a result didn't look, and Kickett has taken the mark. Kickett comes out wide to McManus. 17 possessions for Dale Kickett, but his willingness to work, he's such a hard player, has been a fine example. McManus, his centering kick and a high ball. Waterhouse worked out of it. Michael tries a hand pass to no one in particular. Cousins stood up in the tackle. Banfield threads a hand pass. McIntosh goes for the boundary line. And there's a groan around this ground as the best the Eagles can make of it there is a boundary throw-in.
Yeah, and once again, the pressure from the Dockers in their forward 50-metre area, making the Eagles defenders second guess with their disposal.
Michael had it in front of his body initially. Braun to Morrison. Morrison off a step. The high ball around the outer side. Going back is Norris. And that's a wonderful effort. Norris across the ground to kick it to McManus. Jason Norris, 27 possessions. Djakovic, aided by a bad kick, and a chance now for the West Coast Eagles as the ball comes down towards half forward. Ball 2-on-1, knocks it back to the odd man out. That's Philip Matera. Philip Matera goes looking for Cummings. In front, O'Reilly. O'Reilly didn't knock it down in front. Now he could pay the price. He got back hurriedly. And it was a good chase, and it was a good tackle, and it forced the errant kick that bounces out of bounds in the pocket.
Yeah, Cummings knew he didn't have much time, and he was pretty much pick it up and get it on the boot. And just the desperation of O'Reilly just made sure the kick sprayed away from the goals.
So boundary throw in, 102 plays 64. Bandy gets a fist on it. Cummings. Can he do a Modra? No, he hand passed it away. Kick it again. Went looking for support and Clement. Philip Matera still has the ball to Jones. Hard against the line. Jones's kick goes very high. Ball comes through and knocks it across the line.
Then I'll just give you the benches finally for the Dockers. Taylor, Prescott, Black and Gale. And for the Eagles, Kemp, who's injured, Main Waring, who's not, Todd Holmes and Laurie Bellotti.
Thanks, Barrett. Boundary throw in. Ball and Bandy. Ball directs it down. Taken by Carroll. Twisting, turning, comes away out of the back pocket. Sends play towards the outer side. Fuster in front out there. Gathers it. Took a while. Tackled high. It'll be a Fuster free. Plays on to Djakovic. Djakovic across the body inside the 50. Good mark by Bandy. No mark is easy now.
No system going forward for the Eagles now. They're just blazing it in there. Fremantle working well to get the numbers back and clog up any chances they get to score.
Clement. This will rank as one of those sporting days. Where were you when it happened? Well, a lot of people will claim to have seen it, to have been at the ground. Certainly a statewide live telecast will mean it's been seen by a lot of people. One for the history books, it seems. The Dockers, in the gathering gloom and the misting rain, putting their stamp on this game. Fletcher has done that from the start. Harding slung. Fletcher once more. Well done. He's not quick, but he's very evasive. Norris, Wills, and now Gale. Gale 60 metres out, sets it up. Holland is in good position. Knocked away well by Morrison, played it well. Werpunda straight into the arms there of Modra. Well done by Werpunda. Modra goes off the ground. Morrison chases it back. Modra doing the unexpected. Almost getting a goal. As it was, he's increased the Dockers' lead.
That's been a feature of Modra's game today. His defensive pressure on the Eagles' defenders has been very good to watch.
Ball was up. Carroll waiting behind. Had it jarred away. Fletcher again so cool. Harding has been important. Gets it away to Wirra. He's kicked a couple of goals this afternoon. But I think he may have... Oh, he's hit the post. The top of the post right near the top. That would have been the clincher. Bit to smile about, though. You have to like your chances from here if you're a Docker. McIntosh going for distance. In front. Missed by Bandy. Bond leads back. Support offered by Kickett. Kickett prods it to the middle and Fletcher. Fletcher coming up for his 35th possession. Kicks down towards the pocket where Punda is up, and that's a terrific mark. Where Punda takes the juggled mark in the back pocket. Looks at the wrong end as far as the Eagles are concerned. Drives it around the outer side. Kickett will not be beaten here. He's too good a player. Although he's dragged down from behind by Jones. Full credit to Jones. They worry them out of it. Peter Matera kicks towards half forward. Fuster drops the mark. It's Greasy. He's against the boundary line. He's nimble for a big man. He thumps it into the ground. He kicks towards goal, and I think he's kicked the goal. Great kick.
And Mushy, you've obviously saw a lot more of Brendan Fuster than what I have, but there's no doubting his ability. Belotti's about to come onto the ground. Mitchell White is coming from the ground, but this is a magnificent goal. Terrific to see from a big man who's athletic to back his instincts.
He summed it up well here, didn't he? He just worked out where he was, knew he could get the player offside, snuck around the boundary line and finished it off with a beautiful kick.
So the margin 33 points, 11 and a half minutes to go. Almost the reverse of what happened in round one. The Dockers got to within 4 points with a storming finish. Can the Eagles repay in kind? Rintoul miscued off the ground. Harding comes out wide. It's 2-on-1. Metropolis will need to go. Well, he's back a little there, Metropolis, but eventually it goes across the boundary line. I suppose his thinking was he couldn't be beaten there and give them a run at goal.
The ball's gone back into the ruck. Wisher as we speak. Brendan Fuster's gone to centre half forward. And also pushing forward is Laurie Bellotti.
There's Jakovic towards the wing, but out of bounds on the full. Just checking our score as opposed to the scoreboard here. Scoreboard at the ground showing 33 points. We're showing 34. It's substantial in any case. Just over 11 minutes remaining. This is Gale. Chris Mainwaring back on the ground. Rintoul takes the mark. Disappointing day for Chris. His 200th game. Hasn't seen much playing time or much of the footy when he's been out there. Ball picks it up. The kick from Reid was blanketed. Now Morrison has it. Goes wide. Cummings on his chest takes the mark and decides to take O'Reilly on his mate. He pulls it back inside the 50 and Philip Matera takes the mark. So if he can kick this one and the West Coast Eagles post back-to-back goals, maybe, just maybe, they're an outside chance.
That's probably one of the only times for the day that the advantage of the kick was given to Philip Matera. Usually it's been popped on his head. Clement, his opponent for most of the day, he certainly had the height advantage. But on the lead, Matera is very quick, and that was a terrific kick there by Cummings.
Good clean football in this driving rain now, very slippery, and that was as clean as the Eagles have been all day.
What a body blow a loss will be for the West Coast Eagles, with Essendon and the Kangaroos both winning in round 15, or rather round 16. This ball slides across the face. Behind.
It all means well for next week's competition, Dennis. Essendon play the Kangaroos at the MCG, and of course on the Sunday the Brisbane Lions play host to the West Coast Eagles.
We wonder the innermost thoughts of members of the WA Football Commission. Great to see the Dockers have a win.
Oh, it is, Dennis, and I think there is a lot of people out there who haven't really thought that Fremantle have arrived in the competition until they beat the West Coast Eagles. So it would be great for all those people. Ring up the Dockers on Monday. There'll be some discounted memberships for the rest of this year. Join the club, support them. They're going to beat the Eagles today for the first time. Get along and watch the remainder of their games because they are in great form.
Kick in. Saw the defender step over the line. Ball has got it. Couldn't do much with it. Still bouncing around in there. Cummings goes down close to the boundary line. Reid is ushered across. But just thinking about the WA Footy Commission holding the licence for both these teams. I mean, happy to see Fremantle win, but there's a contradiction there. They'd love to see the WA team win the premiership, and of course this really does harm the Eagles' chances if they go back into the ruck. If they don't finish in the first four, I think it's going to be a tough contract for them. Boundary throw in. Pandy comes over the top, didn't put his arms up. Fuster finds it, plenty of company, gets the hand pass off. Bond going to the ground to Norris. What a game he's played. Kicks it up towards the wing. Michael, he set the standard early. Hacked out of midair by Jakovic, and the clever mark is taken down there by Ball. Will he get 50? Well, he should get 50, shouldn't he? Wills took off and has kicked it down towards half forward. Morrison and Holland have got their aim, I think, a little askew out there, not realising the ball needs to go back.
Sometimes umpires pay 50 in this situation. They assume that the player heard the whistle and just kicked it away. Looks like they're going to get one anyway now. The ball hasn't come back directly to Jason Ball, so he is going to get the 50 he wanted. He should put through a goal from here. But
just watching the replay, little doubt that Ball wanted a hand pass anyway and go on. So the umpire probably thought, I won't pay the initial 50, but they've chanced their luck, the Dockers. That's the second time today. And eventually the 50 has been awarded. So Jason Ball from directly in front should kick the goal. He's hit the post. Well, that sums it up.
Yeah, that certainly does typify the day the Eagles have had. just looking through the midfield group, they haven't had really any penetration through that part of the ground. Kemp only had 7 possessions before he got injured. Mainwaring 3. Banfield only had 5 kicks but 12 handballs. Braun's had 11. Cousins 22, but hasn't really been as effective as we know he could be. Matera was pretty good early with 16 and Jones 9. They just haven't had a nucleus of good penetrating play, especially with their feet.
It's going to be a big night in the Port tonight. There's a ball up. Left half back for the Dockers. Down goes Holland. Wrestling his way through his Parker. He hand passes across the line.
Dennis, the Dockers have rested Norwich now, and the Wills as well. McManus and Prescott are on, and there are 36,269 people here.
The first derby had the biggest crowd, 41,601. No chance of that today. Ground under construction. Mainwaring kicks it high. Braun was there. Coming through was Matera. Down goes Bond. Bond and Matera battle away. Peter's not happy. And it's going to be 50 against Matera. He can get grumpy. He's grumpy now.
Yeah, another undisciplined act of play. This time it's by Peter Matera. Things certainly haven't gone the Eagles' way today. The Dockers have been relentless in their approach at the hard footy, that loose ball, but also their defensive pressure has been very good, and it would certainly satisfy their coach, Damien Drum.
Bond, long kick down towards the attacking 50. Some hanging on there, and the kick will go to Michael against Jakovic. It's all coming unglued now. Ball missing from point-blank range. A 50-metre penalty and a soft free kick. What a start Michael made to this game. Dominated inside the centre square. Waterhouse drops the mark, should have marked it. They battle after it. Cousins hacks his way out. Ball, Metropolis swings it wide. Cummings. Well, that is a definitive searching lead. Cousins, or rather Cummings, sockers it down towards the wing. Still he goes. Hand passes another 5 metres. The ball close to the boundary line. Rintoul arrives aggressively. And will have a throw in.
Even at that contest there, John, there was 2 West Coast Eagles to 1. 2 Docker players to 1. Just typified the way they've gone about their footy today.
Yeah, they've run extremely hard all day. It's been a credit to the way they've played the game. They've just outnumbered the Eagles at every contest, just through hard run, nothing else.
Tossed in, Bandy and Ball in front again, close to the boundary line. Well done by Peter Matera. Made something out of nothing there. Paul McManus ran hard at that ball, so did Mainwaring. 2 teammates at East Fremantle close to the boundary line. Free kick is going the Eagles' way, no, the Dockers' way.
There, just hand across the shoulder.
Dale kick it, drives it up towards the wing. Pitches just in front of Metropolis and taken out once more. So plenty of practice for the boundary umpire just at the moment.
Probably from a positive viewpoint, Jakovic has certainly been their best player. It's been the across half back. He certainly has nullified the influence of Bandy and also Michael at centre half forward.
Prescott, who's been used sparingly, kicks it down towards the attacking 50. Guy McKenna lurking at the back of the pack. Kicks it only as far as Fletcher. Fletcher full-chested. Knocked it forward. Prescott gets it from Michael. Michael kicks inside the 50. It bounces down towards the pocket once more. Modra looking to keep it in. McIntosh looking to knock it out. Modra sidesteps. Pulls it back towards the middle. Waterhouse got fingertips to it. Guerra lurking behind. Hasn't got the ball, or has he? He's taken high in any case. He had the ball.
Jakovic was just telling the umpire, have a look where his arms are. He's not going to let go, Guerra. Better be careful.
I think the initial left arm went across the head.
Just the contact to the head. Guerra had his head down over the ball. He didn't duck his head. He was down picking the ball up and deserves to be protected. So it's a good call by the umpire. As much as the Jakovic tackle was spot on after that, contact to a player's head while they're down over the footy, they're the one going to get looked after. See there, his head's down, he's on the way up. Pretty hard contact by Jakovic's upper arm.
So the margin at 32 points. Brad Guerra is going for his 3rd here. Got 2 in the opening term, and he misses again. Not happy, but it doesn't matter much.
He's had a significant role today to play. Naturally, Punter's been a rebounding defender for the Eagles all year. He's only had 12 possessions. Player we just spoke about, Wirra's only had 7, but he's had 5 shots on goal, kicking 2 goals 3.
McIntosh told to hurry up. Drives it up the middle of the ground, reaching over the top. Gale. Prescott. Chance for Fletcher. Fletcher threads it out to Bond, who goes short and finds Wirra once more. Brad Wirra, as this rain gets heavier, but nothing will dampen the dispositions of the Dockers and their fans. This is one that's going to prove timeless. I think this tape might be played in 20, 25 years' time, maybe longer, if we're all around. Daunting thought, really, boys.
I hope so.
There goes Wirra. Did McIntosh touch it? I don't think he did. Wirra's got his third. He's doing the wheels.
Yeah, that's what jubilation's all about.
Yeah, they're certainly enjoying this game. It's a big one for Fremantle. They're getting a few firsts this year. They won their first ever game at the MCG earlier on. That was a big milestone for them. Obviously, the one that they really wanted was to break the winning streak of the West Coast Eagles, which is going to stop at 9. And really, they've won it through their own merits today, been outstanding.
So Brad Wirra, a little aeroplane spin there after kicking the goal. The arms fully extended. Peter Matera going nowhere. Harding knocked away by Gale. Still Gale inside the centre square. Kicks well inside the 50. Missed by McIntosh. Stubbed out towards the boundary line by Morrison. And it rolls across. So just taking a look at Adrian Fletcher's stats. 22 kicks, 14 hand passes, 6 marks. And not the roughest of them when it comes to the Brownlow. Don't worry about that. He's had a lot of the ball this year. Tossed in. Jakovic slaps it down. Rintoul held without it. He'll get the free.
Not only has he won a lot of the footy, it's been his effectiveness with his ball use. He's invited the overlapping runner to run past and receive and set up a lot of attacking thrust for the Dockers.
Kick it hurriedly. High kick. Rintoul has to wait, given a fitness test there by Holland. Holland was on his way to the interchange gates and just trotted off. So Rintoul will have no chance to square the ledger.
Yeah, he just had no intent for the footy whatsoever. Good courage there by Rintoul. Stood his ground, eyes on the ball.
Terrible kick from Rintoul. Taken by Fuster. Ricochets off Harding after Braun tried to work it down to half forward. Instead it's a throw-in on the wing.
Then it's fair to say the Eagles bench not too enamoured with Brodie Holland. Jason Norris had to go back on the ground then too.
Thanks, Barra. Tossed in, backhanded by Ball. Will be thrown in. Damien Drum, certainly his finest hour as a coach. They beat St Kilda on this ground last Saturday night. The best team, perhaps, in terms of credentials they've beaten up until now. But in all respects, this is going to be so sweet. They will rule Perth for at least a week. As the kick comes back inside the 50, Parker tries to dive in. Gale in the driving rain now. Kick it. Loved his game. Goes towards the outer side, but then again, I'm a big fan. Prescott. McManus running into space. Has the ball on the wing. Chasing hard is Cousins. The little chip kick comes down towards Norris. Controls the greasy ball well. Men on in the middle. Tries to spear the pass in and succeeds. Prescott gets the hand pass away. McManus spinning, twisting. Gives it to Michael. Michael steps through. 55 metres out. Down towards full forward. A lot of wrestling down there. Loose ball at the back. Close to the boundary line. And Morrison hand passes and it goes out.
Yeah, very impressive display of football. They've won the footy when it's had to be won. They've chased and dispossessed the opposition when the Eagles have had the ball. We've had a focal point up forward in Modra kicking 5 goals. Everyone certainly has put their hand up at the appropriate time.
Jakovic to Rintoul close to the boundary line. It's out again. Just over 3 minutes to go. Just over 3 minutes till the Dockers finally register a win over the West Coast Eagles. It's been a long time coming, and the record will show 9-1. But they've got the most recent. And they've hurt their crosstown rivals appreciably this afternoon. Kick it once more in the grass. Got the kick away. 26 possessions for that man. They've been hard. He's a competitor. He's loving it now. His moment in the spotlight. Boundary throw-in. Bandy works in front. Ball over the top. Missed by Fletcher. Taken by Ball. High kick towards the wing. Bellotti couldn't control it. Kick it again. Stood up in the tackle. Got it away to Prescott. Back it comes to Bond. Fumbles. Goes to kick it. Hurriedly on the boot. Was taken over the shoulder. Matters not. Fletcher. Chip past to Bandy. Bandy about 52 metres out. Kick it is down with cramp. Bandy meantime. Prodigious kick. Nobody back there. Getting back is Metropolis. Behind.
He's actually coming off the ground as Dale Kickett with that cramp. Wills is coming back onto the ground. But Dale Kickett over the last month or so has been a terrific player for the Fremantle Dockers.
He's a defender. Got him back there in the last couple of weeks and he's played very well. Parker coming through. McManus feeds it back to Fletcher. Fletcher 65 metres out. Needed to be precise and he was. Norrish surrounded by Eagles.
Yeah, magnificent ball use again by that man on screen, Adrian Fletcher. What a sensational season he is having. 38 possessions now, 24 and 14. That's a magnificent effort by a midfielder. I dare say a lot of those possessions have also gone to the advantage of his teammates. This man on screen also, Norrish, he's had 16 kicks and 14 handballs. He set the tone early in the first quarter. He had 9 kicks in that first quarter and run rampant. Those two players alongside Kickett, they've been terrific contributors for their club and for their team.
Norrish from just inside 50. It's tailing away. I think it's a behind.
Still disappointed. Can't make him happy. He has been outstanding today. Jason Norrish worked hard against Matera.
McIntosh kicks in up the middle. Clever mark, strong mark taken in front by Ball. The longer it's gone, the better he's played. Leads it out wide. Morrison. We've got a wrap up of the Western Derby following our coverage for Perth viewers as it's knocked across the boundary line by Mainwaring. That will run through until the news. Throw in on the wing. All academic now. Minute 22 to go. Fletcher still going. Taken high, Fletcher. He'll get the free kick. It'll be interesting to see the reaction from the West Coast Eagles to this game. 9 days ago, disappointing against Richmond. And if anything is going to prick their pride and bring out the best in Michael Malthouse, it could well be this result, you know. They'll come out fighting next week. This is really going to hurt. They're going to have to live with this one. Michael across to Gale. That's the best face I can put on it for Eagles fans. It's going to be a free kick to Modra.
And I suppose the other side of the coin, everyone will be looking to see how Fremantle reacts to this win. They know in 7 days' time they've got another good competitive team in Port Adelaide to play here. Sometimes after a good victory you can become complacent of attitude. It'll be terrific to see if they can actually put 2 good wins together. Beat St Kilda last week, this one will be 2. And obviously if they get over Port Adelaide, 3 quality teams, maybe then you can say the Dockers have arrived as a club.
So when the siren goes, I like to see the reaction of the Fremantle players, how much they'll enjoy this win. I think they'll just be satisfied.
Modra going at number 6, right through the middle.
This win to Freo, when that siren goes, I don't think we'll see the excitement that maybe you'd expect to see from the Freo players on a win. They won't celebrate it like it's a grand final win. Damon Drummond said during the week he doesn't want to build his team around gimmicks and around outside motivators. He wants them to win this game, be satisfied with that, but look to who they're playing next week rather than thinking, well, we've achieved a lot today. Who cares about next week?
And probably in the last 5 minutes or so, we've lost sight of the dimensions of this victory. It's blown out to 47 points now as McManus kicks it down towards half-forward and Waterhouse. In terms of shots on goal, it's even more devastating for the Eagles. Prescott goes wide. Gale close to the line. Norrish keeps it in. Pulls it across the body. Plenty of Eagles back there. Juggling the mark is Metropolis. Dying seconds of this historic Western Derby. Mainwaring, well, he's had that sort of day, really. It just hasn't been his day, in as much as things haven't run for him. Not much playing time. Wills is picked up gingerly by his teammates. He hobbles away. Wait for the siren. Wait for the response of Fremantle. Finally, after the disappointments of 9 consecutive Western Derbies, they are going to prevail. Bandy, so good, comes off the ground. Kick it. A brief rest, comes back on. After the bounce, little time to play. 119 to 72. It's in the book. A smile of satisfaction today belongs to the Fremantle Dockers.
Yes, John, and this is what competition's all about. You've got to really accept that you've worked hard and you've done your best for the club, the team you're representing. It is a time for joy, it is a time for fun, but all of a sudden you have to still put things in perspective. They have got a game next week. Good sportsmanship there by Malthouse, shaking the hand of Damien Drum. That's always great to see. They were beaten by a better side, a side that was really prepared to work all facets of the game. And isn't it great to see a team like this?
Let's go down to the boundary now. Adrian Fletcher has started as with Adrian Barrett.
Yes, the man of the match, Adrian Fletcher. You've done it. You've created history, Fletcher. How do you feel?
Yeah, it's good to get the monkey off the back. We had 22 guys turn up today and they wanted to play, and you know we've got across the line.
Well, you must just feel fantastic.
Oh, we feel fantastic. They're a good side. We're not going to say that, but we won on the day, and that's what it counts.
Good on you, mate. Congratulations. Go and enjoy it.
Well, the monkey is off their back. Adrian Fletcher played like King Kong.